Great, we can start now. Okay, my colleague Jovana, biology teacher, will present you her work on this presentation. So Maya, please, next slide, yes.
Importance of water. Water is considered as one of the prerequisites for living to appear in evolve on a planet. A plant's life is dependent on water. Water is a basic demand for every food. The earth has a limited amount of water. Only 0.5%.
You only see the first slide, I think.
Maya, can you? Yes.
Only 0.5% is suitable for drinking.
Next slide.
Water resources. Water is a vital source for all living organisms. Fresh water is a renewable resource. More than half world's wetlands have been lost along with their valuable environmental services. Rich biodiversity, freshwater ecosystems are currently declining faster than marine or land ecosystems. Surface or fresh surface water is the water in river, lake, or wetland. Quantity of surface water depends on storage capacity, lakes, wetlands, and artificial reservoirs, the permeability of the soil beneath these storage bodies, the runoff characteristics of the land in the watershed, the timing of precipitation, and the local evaporation rates. Human activities often have a large and sometimes very devastating impact of these factors. Subsurface water can be thought in the same terms as surface water, inputs, outputs, and storage. The critical difference is that due to its slow rate of turnover, subsurface water storage is generally much larger compared to inputs than in its for surface water. Uses of fresh water can be categorized as consumptive and non-consumptive. A use of water is consumptive if that water is not immediately available for another use. Water that can be treated and returned to surface water is generally considered non-consumptive if that water can be put to additional use. Under river flow. Through the course of the river, the total volume of water transported downstream will often be a combination of the visible free water flow together with a substantial contribution flowing through subsurface rocks and gravels that underlie the river and its floodplain called the hypoarid zone. Frozen water. Most of Earth's fresh water is frozen, 2.06%. An iceberg, as seen from Newfoundland, would be a good water resource. Several ships have been proposed to make use of icebergs as a water source. The Himalaya, which are often called the roof of the world, contain the greatest area of glaciers and permafrost beyond poles. Desalination is a process by which salt water is converted to fresh water. The most common desalination process are distillation and reverse osmosis. Desalination is currently expensive compared to most alternative sources of water, and only a small fraction of total human use is satisfied by desalination. Climate change could have significant impacts on water resources around the world because of the close connections between the climate and hydrological cycle. Rising temperatures will increase evaporation and lead to increases in precipitation, so there will be regional variations in rainfall. Water pollution is the contamination of water sources by substances which make the water unusable. Pollutants include chemicals, trash, bacteria, and parasites. All forms of pollution eventually make their way to water. Air pollution settles onto lakes and oceans. Land pollution can seep into an underground stream, then to a river, and finally to the ocean. Sources of water pollution are urbanization, oxygen-demanding waste, sewage and fertilizers, industrial waste, agrochemical and waste, nutrient enrichment, thermal pollution, the disruption of sediments, acid rain pollution, radioactive waste, introduction of alien species, and climate change. Sources of water pollution can be point sources, which are defined, and not point sources are many sources. And in table, you can see some of point and non-point sources. Point sources are wastewater effluent, runoff and leachate from waste disposal sites, runoff and filtration from animal feedlots, etc. Non-point sources are runoff from agriculture, runoff from pasture and range, septic tank leachate, and runoff from field septic systems, and etc. Water pollutants can be organic or inorganic water pollutants. Organic water pollutants, they comprise of insecticides and herbicides, chemicals, bacteria from sewage and livestock farming, food processing waste, pathogens, volatile organic compounds, etc. Inorganic water pollutants, they may arise from heavy metals, from acid mine drainage, silt from the surface runoff, logging, slash and burning practices, and landfilling. Fertilizers from agricultural runoff, which include nitrates and phosphates, etc., and chemical waste from industrial effluents. Effects of water pollution on human health. Some of the chemicals affecting human health are presence of heavy metals such as fluoride, arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury, petrochemicals, chlorinated solvents, pesticides, and nitrates. Microorganisms play a major role in water quality, and microorganisms that are concerned with the waterborne diseases are Salmonella, Shigella, Escherichia coli, and Vibrio cholera. Inorganic sources and diseases. Metals such as mercury can be naturally related to industrial waste. It accumulates in the kidneys and in the brain, causes muscle weakness and loss of coordination, loss of attention. Nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen is realized as nitrous nitrogen oxides and nitrogen gas, where it can combine with atmospheric ions to create nitrates. Nitrates cause hemoglobin to convert in methemoglobin, which can't carry oxygen. Arsenic, natural forms of arsenic are bound in mineral called pyrite. Pyrite, when oxidized, releases inorganic arsenic into the surface and groundwater supplies. This arsenic is converted into arsenous acid or arsenic acid as they are leached into underground aquifers. Causes skin lesia, cardiovascular disease, neurotoxicity, and cancers. Leaded gas lines, melting and combustion, lead containing paints, and pipe structures containing lead. Accumulating bones, nervous system, causes hemolytic anemia. Biological contaminants. Coliform bacteria are one of the most common biotic organisms that are tested for local water sources. Coliform bacteria are negative bacillus species. Fecal coliform species can be pathogenic in nature depending on the specific strain of the bacteria, and can include Citrobacter, Enterobacter, Klebsiella, and the Escherichia species. Cryptosporidiosis is a common gastrointestinal waterborne illness caused by parasite Cryptosporidium. In water, Cryptosporidium exists as zoonosis that, upon consumption, weakness and embeds itself into the wall of small intestine, causing gastrointestinal symptoms. Naegleria fowleri is amoeba flagellata, known as brain-eating amoeba. It's naturally occurring in species that prefers fresh water, hot springs, and warm lakes and rivers. Water conservation. Water conservation is the careful use and preservation of the water supply, including the quantity and quality of water utilized. Many reasons to conserve water. Conserving water, we save energy. Consuming less water keeps more in our environments and aids with keeping wetland habitats best for creatures like otters, water voles, herons, and fish. Strategies that can aid water preservation activities are rainwater harvesting, sustainable water usage, encourage natural regeneration of vegetation, and supplement with artificial regeneration, maintain and improve the quality of water, raising awareness of water conservation. Individual water conservation measures. Recycle your water wherever, whenever you can. Collect the cold water when you run before it's hot enough to shower and reuse it. Food preparation can be collected and used to soak other dishes. Insulate your water pipes. You'll get hot water faster, plus avoid wasting the water while it heats up. Eat less water-intensive foods. All food has a water footprint, but some are much larger than others. Buy less. Consumer products are often overlooked source of water use, accounting for up to a third most people's water footprint and buying less of everything. That's all from us.
Thank you.